And I don't want, the other 6 people to walk away thinking that, oh man, it's Father's Day. And so, and also we got the King of the Cage out there. So we're not going to actually be fighting, but they'll have some of the wrestlers out there or fighters out there to sign autographs. And we're working on a big event. I'm trying to bring in a hippo.
A hippo?
Yeah, why not? I'm Scott Connor. I can
call
make
one of your ex-girlfriends.
Oh!
I'm just kidding.
Wow.
She's gonna claim that on the drugs, Scott. I swear. That's what she's gonna do.
All right. Cloning requires both DNA and embryo cells in order to take place. First, the DNA is removed from the nucleus of the creature's cell. The material bearing code genetics information is then placed in the nucleus of the embryonic cell of another creature. There we go. The cell and blah, 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 blah. So you need an embryonic cell, and you need a DNA from whatever you want to clone into the embryonic cell, and then you hit some electricity and some chemicals, and then hopefully it takes place. That's why they say that they don't just use 1-to-1 ratio. It's like 1-to-10, 1-to-20 embryonic cells. So are we killing babies? Do you think we're killing babies, Dan?
No, I don't think we're killing babies in doing that. I actually had a question about that earlier. Okay, if you take the embryo and you take the DNA, which is obviously the A and B that it takes to make C. Okay.
C meaning Connor.
That's right. 80 of them. Okay, if God made the embryo, because God makes everything, so God made the embryo and God made the DNA, and you put the two together, then you've got a clone that God technically made with a little bit of help from man. So
I don't know. I mean, this is. I truly believe that we can do that, but I don't think it would have a soul, my friend. I really don't think it would have a soul. It'd be soulless.
But the embryo would have a soul.
No, it wouldn't have a soul. Well, no.
When do you get your soul? Is it like when you're born?
Wait a minute. Now, wait a minute.
Bill Inglum's sitting out there going, "Here's your soul up at the top."
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Take your number.
Take your number. Yeah. Okay. Let's walk through that again. So you're saying that since God.
Okay, so God made the embryo.
Yeah.
And God made the DNA.
Yeah.
That you're putting the two together to get the clone.
Yeah.
So if it's something that God made and it's something that God made and you're putting them together, wouldn't that be something that God made?
No, it's something I made.
No.
Well, how about this? If I put together some parts, let's say I get a part for building a Harley, and I get a part, the chassis over here, and I get the engine and the transmission over here, and I put it together myself, and it's all Harley parts, is it warranted by Harley?
Yes.
Is it considered a Harley bike? If it's not built by Harley?
It's Harley parts. You can't warranty. God doesn't warranty people.
Yeah, I never got my warranty card from God, I'm still waiting to mail that one back in.
Parts are parts.
I hate mail-in rebates too, by the way. I hate those things. I think we should do a boycott against those. All right, let's see.
Scott, one of the other issues that we're raising with cloning is population control.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, you've got, United States as a society and all of us driving cars and consuming so much of the natural
25% of the population consuming 75% of the natural resources on the planet.
I mean, imagine all
Proud to be an American.
That's right.
Imagine all those SUV drivers, and there's 5 of them now. I mean, just come on.
Is that Lieutenant Conrad music? I don't want to pick on him today.
Imagine if there was
Actually,
5 Lieutenant Conrad.
It's supposed to be bumper music, and you had the wrong one, so it's going to have to do.
Well, he's got to call in now.
Get a clone in there to take Billy's place, would you please?
See, now you accidentally hit the Conrad music. Now maybe he's out there. Maybe Lieutenant Conrad would like to be cloned. One with hair and one without hair.
Maybe he wants to be cloned, so then he has his clone call in every time you call. Talk on him.
Wow, aren't you the intelligent one?
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine?
This is the Scott Connor Show. Rated the #1 station by Arbitron again. We're News Radio 770, KKOB.
This is what you get
Wanted to have a neighbor just like you.
when you let Billy loose.
Always wanted to live in a neighborhood.
I like it. No, I'm just kidding.
Do you even know who Mr. Rogers is?
Yes, I know.
You're like talking about embryos. You're like one step away from. You're like. You still have lacquer on you. You haven't even dried yet from the embryo stage. You're so young.
I know, but I still know who Mr. Rogers is.
All right.
You're
He's
young
dead.
and I'm old. Is that it?
Exactly.
Oh,
dead.
yeah.
I'm young, you're old, and he's dead. Thank you so much.
I don't know. Whatever I think, because I ruled this show. Stop hitting. Who's hitting the? Me. All right. Hey, you know what? We were talking during break, and we were talking about, hey, if drinking, and Billy might be an expert on this. If drinking kills brain cells, is that the same thing as killing embryos? And if so, who was your first?
Oh, for the love of...
I mean, I know you burned through 1 million brain cells in a weekend. I know you do.
You know what? You don't start. Do not start. I have ammo. I have lots of ammo.
I'm Pompeii. I'm going to blow up. Well, who was your first?
Jose.
Jose was your first?
Yes.
I've got to open up the lines to this. Who was your first? And who was the first that killed all your brain cells? Yours is Jose and Dan?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to have to be honest here and say that Zima was my first. I was
and I thought Scott was fruity.
I was 14 and my friend's dad bought it for his birthday party and we grabbed a couple of them.
You burned your first brain cells on Zima?
Yeah.
And you are so femme.
I know.
I thought I was bad for burning it off of margaritas.
Oh, man. Larry?
Jack. To this day, Jack and I are still having a good old time.
Yeah.
You guys have a good relationship going?
We have a great relationship.
Does he,
every now and then I wake up just, with semi-clad, I'm clean, but hey, we have a grind.
You nestle Jack? Does he nibble on your ear?
Just get together.